Hey, Matt at Full-Race Motorsports here. We're super excited. We finally released our long-awaited Formline manifolds for the 2021 and up F-150 and Raptor. The one question everybody has, of course, though, is do they make power and how much? So today we're going to find out. We're here at Black Market Racing in Phoenix, Arizona. Same day, same dyno, same conditions. Two trucks, both 2021 Raptors, one bone stock, one with our Formline manifolds on it. So let's get into it. Let's run these trucks. So here's the deal. We brought two trucks with us. One, 2021 Raptor, bone stock, all the way down to the air filter. Truck two, our shop truck, also 2021 Raptor with our Formline manifolds on it. Same tune, same turbos, same everything else. I know what you're asking. Why not just do a before and after on our truck? Well, we did it before. We did it on our truck here in Arizona in August. And if you know anything about the heat here in August, it was probably 115, 116 degrees that day. Of course, we could have used that data, but we would have shown a much larger gain because of all the heat still going on back in August. It's more important to us that we show real, reputable data that you can trust. That's why both trucks are here on the same day, same weather, same conditions to give a real, true back-to-back comparison. So you know what to expect when you install Formline manifolds on your truck. All right, so we started with our bone stock Raptor. We've got 91 octane, factory everything, all the way down to the factory air filter. Did our first baseline run. We ended up with 370 horsepower and 446 foot-pounds of torque. Now we'll put a tune on it. Again, bone stock everything except for the tune. And we'll see what kind of power we can get out of that and go from there. We have stock numbers for a baseline. We data logged that while dynoing. We sent that over to Mike at MPT. What he does with that information is he can then see differences that happen based off of altitude, type of gas in the vehicle, things of that nature to make sure that we get a real nice, safe tune. He creates the tune based off of that. We're using an SCT BDX. This is really cool now with the 2021s and up. We can connect direct to the OBD2 port. So we'll plug this into the truck's OBD2 port and we'll upload the tune that Mike gave us onto the truck and we'll run it again with the tune. Tuning the vehicle is super simple with these handhelds. It walks you through the process, tells you when to turn the key on, when to turn the key off, and you cycle through to find the tune file that you have uploaded to it, select it, and it's going to walk you through the process. Couldn't be easier, for us at least. Mike does all the hard work. All right, so we just finished data logging our first run of the PRX tune from Mike and MPT. We shot that data log over to him. He reviewed it. We made a little less power than he was expecting. Of course, the gas and the elevation, DA is all different here than it is there. So that's why we play with the tunes a little bit to get them perfect. He updated the tune. We're now gonna load the tune on to our programmer. Then we'll plug it back into the truck, upload that tune into the truck, and we'll hit it again. All right, so we tested the stock truck with no tune, stock tune, and then we tested the stock truck with a tune. Pulled that truck off, put our truck on. Our truck has the Formline manifolds, and we'll start by testing the stock tune on this truck as well, and then we'll test it with an updated tune. We can tune a little differently because of the extra flow provided by the manifolds, but we want to get a good baseline, stock tune versus stock tune, just see what the manifolds are flowing without even a tune, and then we'll find out how much more power we can make once we add a tune to that. Right off the bat, we opened up the turbo outlet from 34 millimeter to 40 millimeter, which equates to about 38% more flow going directly to that turbo. As you can see, because of the soot line here on the factory manifold actually causes quite a restriction going into the turbo. The more you can open that flow up and get that air to the turbo, the better. Looking at the flanges, you can see a visual difference in the thickness of the head flanges. We use a full 15 millimeter flange and the stock tapers down to a 9 millimeter. That's why they like to warp and flex. On top of that, we're using an aerospace grade 347 stainless on our manifolds. It really holds up to heat well and resists warping, cracking, damage. You're gonna have reliability for the long run with our manifolds. This might turn out pretty good. All right, so we just finished the stock tune run on our truck with the Formline manifolds on it. And kind of impressed by the numbers. We're gonna compare stock tune on factory manifolds versus stock tune on Formline manifolds. Now, the factory manifolds, we ended with 360 horsepower and 442 foot-pounds of torque. Again, bone stock, stock tune. Add the manifolds on our truck, 412 horsepower, 487 foot-pounds of torque. So we're talking 52 horsepower gain and a 45 foot-pounds of torque gain just by swapping manifolds. Stock tune versus stock tune, swap the manifolds. What we'll do next is we're gonna tune our truck with the manifolds on it, and then we'll compare the stock manifolds with tune to our truck with the Formline manifolds with tune. And now we just finished dynoing the Formline manifolds with tune, and I'm really happy with the numbers we got here. If we look at the graph here, the factory manifolds with tune, we got 425 horsepower and 517 foot-pounds of torque. Now it's just a tune. Bone stock truck, just a tune. 425, 517. Add the manifolds in a tune, we ended with 480 horsepower, 593 foot-pounds of torque. So we added a total of 55 horsepower and 78 foot-pounds of torque on top of what we were able to get on just a tune stock manifolds. Now, if we look back at the bone stock truck, we stocked with 360 horsepower, 442 foot-pounds of torque. On the bone stock truck, no tune. Once we added Formline manifolds and a tune, we ended with 480 horsepower, 593 foot-pounds of torque. At the end of the day, manifolds and a tune, we gained a total of 120 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque. It's incredible. Now, of course, now we're isolating just the manifolds itself, adding downpipes, inlets, intake, etc. You're going to be able to increase that quite a bit more. Incredible numbers out of just a swap of the manifold. Even higher numbers if you add a tune on top of that. So do the Formline manifolds make power? Absolutely. But that's just part of the story. We've got better flow efficiency, better heat control, long-term reliability, and durability. We're gonna keep going on the Gen 3 platform. We'll be testing more products soon. So if you wanna see what's next, hit subscribe. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. And in the meantime, get your Formline manifolds at fullrace.com.